First thing this morning, we were going to try to make a deck area right here to deck these white oak yesterday, but Kenny went to push a locust out of the way, and in the midst of pushing, he just fell through, which I was kind of worried about that in a sense, but really here on top of this hill, I didn't think we'd run into that problem. It was bad enough we had to winch ourselves out on that elm tree over here, but that's just straight in. That's not wallering or trying to go back and forth. That's just a straight push. So we're headed to get the skid steer now and get it over here and see if we can try to clean up a deck area. And the rain forecast isn't good, and it's already wet, saturated, sandy soils here on this job, so getting these logs out might be a chore. So we brought the skid steer over too, and I was going to have Kenny come in here and try to make a few drags, but man, as wet as it is, he started to pull out in here and it's spongy. And rather than make a bunch of ruts we're gonna have to come back and fix anyway, he's just gonna go on the other side of the road and try to slick up the log roads with the skid steer, at least give him something to do. And I'll go in here and cut, which really sucks. We're on the kind of the crest of this hill here, and you know, you've got a north slope over here, you've got a southern slope over here, so you would think on the top of the hill that we'd be in pretty good shape as far as ground conditions. And you know, the little Toyota runs over it really well, but when you put 34,000 pounds of log skidder on the ground, it becomes a different story real quick, especially when you're trying to drag 3 full-grown white oak. So yeah, again with the rain, that's not really good, because 40% chance tonight, it's Friday, then starting Sunday night it's a lot of rain for us. They're calling for 3 days straight, so that is the absolute last thing we need right now. But again, it's spring. This comes as no shock to us, but still, it's we hate that we're putting a lot of timber on the ground on 2 different job sites, because Dad's just north of here in the river bottom cutting right now. It sucks when you've got a lot of timber down, you can't get it out. So I would almost say there's probably going to be another track machine in our future, just for things like this, because there's nothing more aggravating than not being able to move wood when you want to move wood. So got the tripod, got my axe, hammer and wedges, gassed up saw. Let's go put some white oak on the ground. against our better judgment, we're going to try to drag. The timber in here seems pretty firm. Now, if it's anything like over there on the bluff, the slope stuff, it was firm over there. It drained good. It was just on top where that water had a chance to set, where it wasn't. We had trouble, but getting a lot on the ground in here. This last one I cut, you can see quite a bit of stump worm in it. But again, for what we do with these big white oak logs, that's not really too big of a factor. I mean, it's, you never like to see it, but still, it's definitely not a deal breaker. I think I'll bring that one there down next. I don't have this double marked. I left it. It's a good tree. The first 12 foot of it, it'll be double hearted way down. I left it for wildlife. That was my wildlife tree. Big double there. A lot of footage in it, but overall it still looks pretty healthy, so we'll leave it there to help repopulate this area, because you can see these big trees. We're leaving a pretty good hole in the canopy. We just got a little strip through there, but still got several trees right through here. We've cut a very, very small percentage so far. That green on them John Deere skidders kind of blends into the surroundings pretty good. Testing the waters with just one tree at first. He'll probably take it up there, drop it, and come back and get another. That way he just doesn't fill the grapple up and put her on its belly. Because the way the ground is right now, it could happen very easy. Things are happening now. Kenny's up there dragging. Of course, that's all you hear there is Dad. He come out of the bottom, and you might know, like a missile, like a heat-sinking missile, he comes off the hill up there, and he just beelines it right through the brush, right down here to that walnut tree right there. There's walnut down here in this draw, some pretty good walnut. And like I said, Dad is like a missile. Bypasses the oak right to the walnut. He's like a bloodhound when it comes to that stuff, which I don't mind because I'm having a lot of fun cutting this oak, even this whole post oak. It was more or less dead standing. You can see the bark's already coming off of it there. Still cut really good. That's a pretty post oak. And I know some of you guys don't have post oak in your part of the world, and how fortunate you are. Because this stuff looks similar to a white oak, but it is far from white oak. It's in the white oak family, but it is not the quality of a white oak tree. Just here in the last 5 or 6 years have we really developed much of a market at all for post oak. Used to, it was pallet and tie timber at best. But now we can run it through for some quarter saw logs. If it's got size like this and it's clean, there's still stipulations on it. But it's better than what it used to be when I started logging. Thing ain't hardly making a track at all here on the side of this hill. You see I found a few soft spots right there further up, but right here on the side, nothing. Looks like he's found a soft spot there. He just dropped the load, but amazing here on the side, nothing. But you get a little further up here, especially around these cedars. Cedars seem to hold water in the ground. Hoping that break off. Pulling a plow there, I need to trim that off. You don't even know what's back there. Old 648 will haul the mail. This one didn't cut off. I needed to get it out a little bit before I could get it cut where I wanted, so I didn't waste anything. Well, it's kind of cut off. It's not trimmed. Oh, he's sinking down. This is honestly probably one of the prettiest black oaks I think I've ever cut. I wouldn't call it a true northern red, because I don't think it is. I think it's more of a black oak, but that is pretty. Very pretty. Yeah, that's the 500i. Earning its keep today. Actually, I started cutting this tree with my 661, and I come down to make my face cut and blew the notch out of it, or blew the nose out of it on the notch of the roller tip. So the 500i it is, but what a pretty piece of wood. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.